It is terrific to be with you all today because you all are at the forefront of enabling people to have the impact in the world that they want to have. And as you think about the important work that you're doing, I want to remind you that 1 out of every 5 people on Earth has a disability. 1 out of every 5. That is a huge $1 trillion market. That's 56 million Americans and 1.2 billion people on Earth. What is a disability? It can be physical, that you can see, like they use a wheelchair, or they're blind, or they're deaf. But for most people who live with disability, people like myself, I'm dyslexic and have ADHD. Other people have mental health conditions or chronic pain issues, diabetes, they're fighting cancer. For most people with disabilities, it's invisible. You want to be sure that your members are able to stay in the workforce and in the sector that you are catering to, even if they acquire a disability. Because most people who have a disability, they weren't born with one, they acquired it through an accident, or aging, or an illness. But you, as a leader, you can lose those people unless you accommodate them, include them, and respect them just like anyone else. You have to make a decision, an affirmative decision, that you want them to stay at the table. Because especially for people with invisible disabilities, there's a lot of shame and stigma still. It's a lot like being a member of the LGBTQ community was 20 years ago. For people living with depression and anxiety and other kinds of differences, they're frequently, frankly, not comfortable coming forward and letting them know what the issues are. But the issues are very real, and you can accommodate them, and you can welcome them, and you can help them not only survive, but thrive, and they can be loyal leaders to your organizations. But you have to make an intentional decision to include them in the decision-making table and as your participants. You need to be really intentional about it and have a point person on your team who's responsible to make it happen, and a timeline too, because so often when it comes to diversity, we have these aspirational goals that everybody quote-unquote agrees on, and then you come again and again to the room to see, for example, that much of the room is white, even though the majority of America is now much more inclusive of people of color, for example. You have to really make sure that the talent, no matter where it's coming from, is able to move forward. You need to be sure that all of your events are held in places that someone with a mobility impairment can come to. How many times to do something fun did you use that church basement or go to that high-end donor's home that has 6 steps to get into the building, and thus excluding anybody who may have wanted to participate because they might have used a walker or a wheelchair? How often are you creating videos to really sell the learning opportunities or the excitement of your organization, but forgetting to put on captions? It's actually free to put captions on your videos. Free. But 37 million Americans need captions to have your content. And if you don't put the captions on your videos, you have now lost them to your organization. Likewise, more and more people are using assisted technology for their computers because they have a vision issue, or English is their second language, and so they want their computer to talk to them, just like Siri or Alexa. But if you fail to set up your Facebook or your Twitter or your website to be friendly to screen readers, you are losing your customers, your participants, your board members, your donors, your customers. But all of it can be done. RespectAbility is a nonprofit organization that is here for you. There are flyers on your table. We will help you for free. And I know that free is everyone's favorite cost. Free. I really mean it. Free. There are millions and millions of people who want to be involved in your programs to benefit from the services that you are doing, but you're excluding them if you're not putting this intentional lens into your work. I also want to urge you to either recruit people with disabilities for your staff, for your boards, or to retain them, because people acquire disability as they age. And sometimes they have the most wonderful ideas and terrific networks, and you don't want to exclude them from the progress of your organization. So please, when you think about your future, think about the 1 in 5 people who have a disability. Think about Stephen Hawking, who is unlocking the secrets of the universe while using a wheelchair. Think about Arthur Young, who founded Ernst & Young because nobody would hire him because he was deaf. Think about everyone on the Shark Tank who became so verbally successful and so good at business because they are dyslexic and had difficulty reading. Think about how people with diverse abilities can help be a part of your winning strategy. Again, my organization is RespectAbility. RespectAbility. That's what I'm asking you to do. No matter where it comes from, please let us be a part of your winning success. Thank you for having me.